even been a month since we met the brand new Doctor Who companion, Ruby Sunday, played by Millie Gibson. She made her debut in the Church on Ruby Road, the Christmas special, alongside a brand new 15th Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa. She's already had the red carpet rolled out for her. She's been at the premiere of the Christmas special. She's already featuring in the Doctor Who magazine comics, and I'm sure that she'll get some sort of character options action figure collection set that will immediately sell out, and then scalpers will be selling them for £300 on eBay. But before all of that can even happen, it seems like she's going to be written out of the next series. This is an exclusive from The Mirror, from Nicola Medvin, who has been pretty on point with her reporting for Doctor Who. I imagine she might have some sort of like weird exclusivity deal or something. But headline, Doctor Who companion Millie Gibson dropped from next series of BBC show as replacement is revealed. The decision for Ruby to exit so soon will shock fans who expected her to stretch out her time travelling across at least 2 full series. She only made her first appearance as the character Ruby Sunday last month in the 2023 Christmas special. So this is reporting that Millie Gibson, who plays Ruby Sunday, is not going to be a mainstay in the second of Ncuti Gatwa's series, which we shall call, just for the purposes of this video, Series 15/Season 2. One or the other, I might alternate, we'll figure this out. But part of me expected this at first, because Russell T Davies, when he ran Doctor Who before, his companions, with the exception of Rose, only stuck around for 1 series, and even then Rose stuck around with a different Doctor. So it was 9 and Rose, then 10 and Rose, then 10 and Martha, then 10 and Donna, and that was basically the formula. You had one companion for, like, one Doctor and one companion pairing per series. That was exclusive to that series. So if Millie Gibson had left at the end of series 14, I don't really think that many people would have batted an eye. However, those who have been keeping an eye on the news, those of you who have been keeping an eye on set leaks and filming locations and such, will know that Millie Gibson has been spotted on location and has been seen filming for Series 15 Season 2. She even might be getting a love story or have a boyfriend or a romance during that story, so we thought, okay, she's sticking around for 2 seasons. However, not only does this report say that Millie Gibson has been dropped and that she will be in only 3 of the 8 episodes for the next series, but we even have a brand new actress who is going to be taking the role of the second companion of the 15th Doctor. This article, I swear the other day, had an image of the new actress, but it's just not here now. One second, let me bring up a photo. The replacement for Millie Gibson in Series 15 is going to be Varada Sethu, who you may recognise from the Jurassic World films. She was also in Dr. Foster. She was also in Andor for Disney Plus, the Star Wars streaming show. And she has not only been confirmed, in quotes, by The Mirror as the next Doctor Who companion, 32, already enjoyed several swashbuckling roles in TV adventure series, but we can actually see her filming on location with Ncuti Gatwa as the 15th Doctor. There's the TARDIS, there they are in an old, like a ye olde, I say ye olde, it's more like 50s type of diner area in America. They've been filming this all day. She's been spotted in this yellow dress. Ncuti Gatwa in a gorgeous looking, like, light blue suit with a pink bow tie and shirt, looking really, really cool, looking really, really dapper. These two have been filming all day in Cardiff. There was one video earlier on as well. Do you think this place sells donuts? Not sure. The signs, there's some subliminal messaging here. Varada Sethu is apparently in, and Millie Gibson is apparently out. The decision for Ruby to exit so soon will shock fans who expected her to stretch out her time travelling across at least 2 full series. When she and the Doctor burst onto the screen last month, they proved popular, with 7.3 million viewers watching in the first week of release, making it one of the BBC's biggest hits of the year, etc, etc. Following Russell's decision to write her character out, teen actress Millie filmed for 3 months before Christmas. She is now almost finished on the show and will only be back to, quote, to tie up loose ends in the coming weeks, according to insiders. Millie Gibson has all but left now, and there's a brand new companion, which is really exciting, one said. Russell is keeping things moving and isn't letting the grass grow, that's for sure. We've already seen the typical narrativizing of this decision, saying that, of course, Millie Gibson has been replaced by Varada Sethu because she, Millie Gibson got fired for being white. We've obviously seen that brain rot in terms of argumentation being thrown out here. However, when this news dropped, by the way, this is from The Mirror, from Nicola Medvin, like I said, who is normally pretty damn good at this, and we can, basically confirm that Varada Sethu is on set, is filming. This is a very companion-like thing. this checks out. What's weird, though, is that neither Ncuti Gatwa, nor Millie Gibson, nor Russell T Davies, or anyone from Bad Wolf, or anyone from the BBC officially confirmed this. Now, obviously, this possibly leaked, but the fact that insiders spoke to the Mirror to Nicola Metherine, I think there's maybe a little bit more here than meets the eye. A few months back, we talked about this on stream, the Daily Mirror posted this story. Doctor Who star Millie Gibson branded a diva after being annoyed about night shoots. Insiders say that Millie Gibson has thrown herself into the project as she's been struggling to do with night shoots since filming began in Cardiff last month. We talked about this a few months ago. And what happened after this Mirror article dropped is that I received some private correspondence from multiple people who I trust, who are close to the production, who said that this reporting from the Mirror back in June, that this was essentially laying the groundwork for this departure. Obviously, I do not know for sure what has been going on behind the scenes, but from this being reported / leaked from insiders back in June, that Millie Gibson is apparently a diva who was frustrated at night shoots, and apparently this was setting the stage for her departure, I get the sense that Millie Gibson was meant to do 2 full series, but has had her role in Series 15 / Season 2 to be dramatically cut short, and I think she was pushed. Obviously, Millie Gibson is not in a position to comment right now. She is on holiday in Costa Rica, if you follow her on Instagram. She seems to be having a terrific time, but I am assuming that the decision to leak her departure while she was on holiday is not a coincidence. Ncuti Gatwa has already posted on his Instagram showing support for Millie Gibson, but not confirming or denying anything. As is customary, he is the leading man. He is not the person who should be commenting on these situations. But it does seem a little bit like Ruby Sunday was pushed, Millie Gibson might have been written out, and this was not an amicable agreement from the parties involved. That's kind of all I know. It will be interesting to know how, if that is the case, how it will be spun in the coming weeks and months, whether or not it will actually get some sort of an official statement. I feel a little bit sorry for Millie Gibson because, I do think that the way that this was handled, if this is the case, that she was branded a diva and annoyed about night shoots, and rather than talking to her professionally or figuring something out, they just leak it to the Mirror and then use that as a potential pretext to write her out of the second series. That's just not dignified in any respect. But this current creative team is the same creative team who ran the show back in 2005, and a lot of the same parallels are happening here with Christopher Eccleston. Back in 2005, there was the official statement saying that Christopher Eccleston was tired and that's why he left after 1 series, and that tired quote was completely made up. It was completely drawn from thin air. It wasn't something that Christopher Eccleston said, and those events wound him being blacklisted in the UK TV and film industry, which is why he went to America. I don't think it's going to go to that extent, but the parallels here of 2 Mancunian actors who work for a Russell T Davies run Doctor Who series possibly being pushed because of they didn't approve of the behaviour from the higher up, or there was some disagreements between the actors and the higher up or whatever. There's a lot of parallels happening here. Hello to the new boss, same as the old boss. Obviously we don't know all the details. I only know some smattering of small details that have been entrusted with me from some sources, and I really can't elaborate too much further. It just seems a bit disappointing that this is how it's played out. Rather than actually passing the baton publicly, it has to come out through the Mirror. Obviously, it had to come out eventually because we're seeing the new companion on location filming. But when this was happening before, they officially announced that David Tennant and Catherine Tate, they were returning to Doctor Who, and then a few days later we saw them on location in Camden Market filming. So they knew that they'd be filming out in public. They knew that fans and other people and interested parties would be there filming it. So why not do the official announcement? I know that the timing is a bit awkward because we've only just met Ruby Sunday. We've only had 1 episode, 1 special's worth of screen time with her, and it seems a little bit preemptive, but that's just what happens when you film back-to-back 2 seasons. We are nearing the end of the second series filming before the first one is even broadcast. That just sort of comes with the territory here. It just seems like this is a little bit of an undignified way of doing it. That kind of throws Millie Gibson from, in my opinion, of course, it feels like it's throwing her under the bus, which is a shame. Obviously, I don't know if she is a diva. I don't know if she is annoying about night shoots or whatever, but I still think that it's undignified for all involved to be airing the dirty laundry in this way and then not giving her the official control of the narrative. I think that's a bit unfortunate. That's quite unfair, I think. Eccleston, like Millie, had it leaked that they were leaving after only one. Yeah, that happened with Christopher Eccleston as well, didn't it? Listen, when was the announcement that David Tennant confirmed as 10th Doctor original news? When did that happen? The Guardian reported on the 16th of April 2005 that David Tennant would be the 10th Doctor, and that was on the broadcast day of Aliens of London. So, yeah, so Christopher Eccleston had only been the Doctor for 3 episodes before it was confirmed that David Tennant would be replacing him. But once again, that was a case of it's about to leak, we need to get in front of it, but let's not tell Christopher Eccleston that we're about to confirm the news and let him just get accosted and ambushed out while doing his shopping and doing his daily chores, and leaving completely unprepared and high and dry. Maybe RT doesn't like Mancunians. Russell T Davies is Mancunian, so maybe he's got self-hatred. I don't know. I kind of like Manchester. No, okay, I got it wrong. He's from Swansea, but he lived in Manchester for a long time, didn't he? He's got a house in Manchester. I've driven past it. Russell T Davies was born in Swansea, okay. Manchester. Recreated his experiences in the Manchester gay scene. So he came to Manchester at some point. 6-month contract to write the show after relocated to Manchester in 1988. So he probably had to move to Manchester in 1980. So in his 20s, he moved to Manchester, from what I can tell. Okay, this is funny. Hashtag DWSR besties, warning, sensitive content. And because this is Elon's website, it's just 2 people of colour just holding hands on, like, yeah. This is Elon's Twitter. This is apparently too provocative for people. I wish her all the best. Brand new companion, Verada. I think I wish her all the best, 100%, as I do with anyone involved in Doctor Who. I just wish that she wasn't caught up as well as Ncuti to an extent as well, in this insider trading gossip baseball shit, if that's a phrase. I don't know. Rather see through his mother, I love her already. Go down. So I did see when the announcement, it's not even an official announcement, I did see when it was made, a lot of people saying, I really hope she's a lesbian. I really hope she's a lesbian. That's really weird. Can we, like, acknowledge how fucking weird that is? Like, try and enforce a sexuality on somebody just for your fandom? I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird, folks. Like, yeah, I hope she's a lesbian. I'm sorry? Please, stan Twitter. Be normal. This does feel like the political atmosphere Eccleston talks about. It really does, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, Millie Gibson's going to be at a convention saying, sack Russell T Davies, sack Jane Tranter. I know somebody mentioned that in the chat earlier, but yeah, the parallels really are there. Is it the Thassies again? Probably. I can't remember who tweeted it. I think they had a companion as a profile picture, which honestly, this is my bias. I will 100% cop to it. But for me, that's a red flag now. I see like a Sarah Sutton or a Jenna Coleman or a Billie Piper in a profile picture, and I'm just like, you're fucking sus. I didn't mean it that way. No, it's funny. No, it's fine. I knew that you were, I know that you're one of the good ones. No, you're one of the good ones. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Perhaps Millie and Christopher will start their own spin-offs. That would be so cool. Like, one second. What was the, God. What's the name of the series, of the, like, straight-to-video film that Colin Baker and Nicola Bryant did, but they're not the Doctor and Perry? They're like the Professor and somebody. Air Zone Solution. Or The Stranger? I know they did multiple. It was with Sophie Aldred, sorry, was it? Oh, God. More Than a Messiah? I don't know. Either way, BBV is going to be making a comeback in 2025, folks. Starring Christopher Eccleston and Millie Gibson. It's going to be happening. It's going to happen. Love it. Oh, look at what they took from us, folks. We used to be a society, but then BBV stopped making... How long before Millie now starts posting bacon fingers about the king? I give it 3 years tops. from the 22nd of January 2027. If Millie Gibson's not an ardent anti-monarchist on Instagram, I will eat one of my cats. Now, to be fair, like, stuff leaking is just gonna happen, unfortunately, and tabloids are gonna tabloid. But from what I understand is that this has kind of been a coordinated effort from the Mirror and possibly insiders at Bad Wolf to sort of sow the seeds of Millie Gibson not being good to work with to justify this decision. That's the subtext of me, like, I'm reading between the lines here at the moment, which is a bit unfortunate. But like, if this leaks, in quotes,
wonderful chat.
And then thank you to Thomas Jerome Newton for the £2 super chat. Shirtless Colin haunts us to that video chills. I'm not playing that because that would be not safe for work, but Shirtless Colin does haunt us. I'll put Shirtless Colin up in a second. So this leaks, in quotes, then you make the official announcement before everybody is seen on location, and Ncuti Gatwa was seen with a brand new companion on location in clearly what is a companion role, while Millie Gibson is on holiday in Costa Rica. Like, you actually make an official announcement. And maybe Doctor Who magazine has an exclusive scoop on it when the next issue comes out in 2 or 3 weeks' time or something. I don't know. I have a feeling it's Disney trying to keep under. I don't think this is Disney. I have seen a lot of people say, oh, Verada See-Through, she was in Andor, so clearly they're Disneyfying everything. A lot of the Star Wars productions were filmed in the UK. There's going to be a pretty big crossover there's going to be a crossover from Disney to what's happening on Doctor Who, just by the virtue of the fact that they are productions that are filming in the UK. It's going to happen. And just because an actor was in a Disney production does not mean that Doctor Who is now becoming all of a sudden Disneyfied or whatever. There's Jonathan Groff, but Jonathan Groff is an absolute Chad who deserves to be in Doctor Who, and I'm surprised he wasn't in Doctor Who sooner. So there's going to be, Disney make more material and film more stuff than almost any other comparable company in the UK. So of course there's going to be some. It's just it's Eighth Doctor stuff. It's seeing patterns in things that aren't there. I don't think this is Disney. Disney don't want, Disney, from the outside at least, want to be perceived as the best place ever to work and to work for. So stuff like this doesn't help, but Disney aren't involved in the day-to-day production of Doctor Who, other than funding it and maybe requesting the odd reshoot or the odd change here and there. Like the scene in Church on Ruby Road with the police officer and the falling snowman, that was a Disney decision from test screenings, and you know what? That was actually a good decision. That gave us more Ncuti early on. It gave us the great Eighth Doctor scene when he's talking to the police officer, and it works. That was actually genuinely a good note. And I've seen people saying Disney did reshoots of another scene to get that trans character back. Ruby's getting into a taxi with a group of friends. Of course, the bandmate who she was performing with might be one of It's crazy. It is brain rot. It is anti-trans brain rot that has infested the deep recesses of their mind, obviously. So yeah, it's seeing these narratives. It's mad. Yes, Paul's right. Disney are not going to be controlling day-to-day announcements. No, they just want a good show to be put on their streaming service every year. And sometimes they will use their leverage to request reshoots or maybe make specific requests or something. Maybe her work on Andor did lead to her working on Series 15 of Doctor Who. Maybe. I don't know. But isn't that just how it... isn't this just how it works? What? Especially with Ncuti heavily implying it's true and it's in the story. I don't think he... I think he... he implied that it's true just by virtue of the timing, but not by the content, if that makes sense. That policeman scene was high. It was a good note. It was a good note for Disney to have done. I'm working on a video at the moment where I'm sort of going through Church on Ruby Road with a fine-tooth comb about how much screen time Ncuti Gatwa has. And honestly, Ncuti Gatwa is hardly in the first act of the Church on Ruby Road until he's spotted on the rooftops. He has maybe 4 or 5 lines of dialogue. But give him that scene outside on the street with the pram and the falling snowman and the police officer, it adds a lot more to that first act. It gives a really good buffer from Ruby Sunday knocking over her gin and tonic in the nightclub and then getting off the bus the next day to go home, and they hear the news about the Lulu Bell adoption, the fostering. It's a good note. You may hate Disney for whatever reasons. I'm not going to argue
100%.
those merits or lack thereof or
All of
whatever,
them.
but they've been in this industry for a long time, and sometimes they might give a good note. That's it. The use of the word dropped as well is a very choice word because it appears in the headline, it appears in the first sentence, but it's not a quote. Like, the insider has not used the word dropped, and dropped is not in quotes. It's a choice word to use. Why would they use dropped if this wasn't a case of the BBC, or Bad Wolf, I should say, pushing Millie rather than her jumping? That, obviously I might be inferring a lot from the usage of that word, but the use of the word dropped is legit a choice here. Yeah, this news dropped on Friday evening. So obviously it's tough to get everybody around the table on a weekend because TV production is normally a Monday to Friday thing, typically speaking. So the fact that Monday morning rolled round and there wasn't an official announcement, that there wasn't an actual statement, there was no press release, there was no confirmation of Verada Sethu as the new companion or whatever, it doesn't look good, and it kind of implies that this wasn't an amicable split. Now, you may think that this is just me catastrophizing. This might just be me, this could be me seeing a pattern in things that aren't there. But for me, it's the cascading, stacking on top of the thing. Like, it's the multiple things. It's dropped. It's the fact that there was that Diva story from back in June. It's the fact that we see Verada on location today and there's still no official statement. It's all of, like, the timing of her being in Costa Rica, Ncuti Gatwa's Instagram post. It's all, like, one of these things is just like a coincidence, but all of these things together demonstrates a bigger, broader issue here, I think. Like, maybe I could be conspiracy brained. This is what happens when you have a weekly Doctor Who live stream, of course, but yeah. What's Ncuti's post? 1 second, I can't find it on Instagram anymore because it was an Instagram story and those only last 24 hours. Ncuti Gatwa's Instagram story, My Little Gemini, love heart, because Ncuti Gatwa is really big into his astrology, really big into his horoscopes and star signs and stuff. So My Little Gemini, love heart. This was what he posted a day after the Mirror article dropped. Or maybe at her age she can't handle the fame of millions knowing her now. Well, I don't know, like, obviously if that is the case, and I don't think it is, but I'll humor that assessment. If, like, I think that she seems to have taken to the role of a Doctor's companion publicly, at least, like a duck to water. She's been taking photos with fans. 1 second, Millie Gibson Lego. I remember this image a while ago. Here we go. This was from set_DW. Somebody gave her these custom Lego minifigs, which she took a photo with, and obviously it's part of the job, but she did the Children in Need thing, the Children in Need announcement as well. She's been doing press. She was at the premiere. I will say, people saying, oh, of course there's no disagreements between Bad Wolf and Millie Gibson because she was at the premiere. Like, it would be that doesn't make sense. Because, of course, she would be at the premiere and they'd put a brave face on it. Like, I don't see how that adds up. I don't know. She did the commentary with us, Steve Davis and Phil Collins, right? Yeah. But I imagine that's a contractual obligation. And she's an actor. She'll put on a good face for the brand, for the show. Even Christopher Eccleston was like, I'm leaving after one series. I didn't have a good time, but I'll do the promotion, I'll do the press junkets, and I'll leave amicably. I'll leave on good terms. And then everything went wrong. Like, Christopher Eccleston did the Blue Peter sketch. Not only did he do the Blue Peter sketch, he did a Blue Peter interview, didn't he? Eccleston, Blue Peter. This is the sort of stuff that should have been on the recent home media box set release of series 1 to 4.
Years, and I felt ready to do something with that kind of responsibility.
Didn't he also do the Weakest Link? 1 second. 1 second. No, not Weakest Link, sorry. Mastermind, the Doctor Who special. Eccleston was a week away from his debut appearance as the Ninth Doctor. Can you watch this anywhere? Eccleston like hated everything about working on Doctor Who, with the exception of the fans and the actors and working with Joe Ahern. But he still
Always yearned for.
did a Mastermind special, didn't he? 1 second. No. Oh no, this is an unrelated special from 2005.
And the last of our finalists, please.
Do not copyright strike this, BBC. You have not made this publicly available anywhere. I will rain down hellfire on you if you content ID this shit.
And your name is?
Sam.
You come from?
Rutland.
James Bond was your last subject. What have you chosen tonight?
Doctor Who 2005.
Giga Chad.
Revision's been going really well. I've watched all the DVDs, read all the books and articles, but I'm still a little bit nervous, so which is why I brought a mate along to help me along the way. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Sam. All right.
Yeah.
So where do you want me?
How about just over there?
After you.
If this was done in 2024, this guy would be a Mr. TARDIS subscriber and he'd be in this chat right now.
So why did you choose Doctor Who?
Because it's well written, funny, it's got great actors, and it's got exceptional, well, everything. It's got great monsters, great costumes.
Have you got a favourite monster? Apart from me, obviously.
It will probably be the Empty Child from episodes 9 and 10.
Is that your favourite episode, or was that your favourite alien?
Probably my favourite alien. My favourite episode is probably...
Peter Howell theme was an interesting choice. When was this? Was this like before Junior Mastermind 2006? One second. Junior Mastermind 2006. When was this broadcast? Obviously 2006, but... Okay, so this was like between the Christmas Invasion and New Earth, which is that's really interesting. When was this filmed?
Episodes 12 and 13.
The Parting of the Ways.
Yeah, and Bad Wolf. Because it's just basically the end of the world.
Yes, I was going to say the Peter Howell music was because they didn't have the Murray Gold version on hand, but no, this is like between Christmas Invasion and New Earth, so they did. Okay, that my mistake.
So how's the revision going?
It's going really well. One of the best subjects, because all you have to do is sit at home.
Watch telly.
Yeah. But there's just a couple of questions I'd like to ask you, but in a rather more formal situation.
Oh, and what's that then?
Come here.
Oh no. The chair.
Your name?
Chris Eccleston.
Where are you from?
Salford.
Based.
Your occupation is?
Unemployed Time Lord.
What was the best thing about playing Doctor Who?
The response of children like yourself.
Were you nervous about playing the Doctor?
Yes.
What did Christopher Eccleston bring to the role of Doctor Who?
These.
Does the Doctor
For those of you who are just listening, he gestured to both of his ears.
fancy Rose Tyler?
Absolutely.
If you had Doctor Who as your specialist subject,
I didn't realise that Eccleston was a 9 and Rose shipper.
how well would you do?
Terribly. Not half as well as you're going to do. Best of luck.
So we don't have the full thing, unfortunately. Was it Eccleston Junior Mastermind Doctor Who? Can we watch the full thing? Like, I understand that this started as a Millie Gibson tangent, and Colin Baker is still here as well. But where do we have the full Junior Mastermind? Okay, yeah. Okay, right. Chat, we're playing Junior Mastermind.
Doctor Who in 2 minutes, starting now. Which of his enemies did the Doctor think had been destroyed in the Time War, only to face another army of them in the Parting of the Ways?
Sontarans.
Daleks.
Yes, what one-word instruction does the Doctor give to Rose when they first meet in the basement of Henrik's
Bugger
department
off.
store?
Run.
Yes, in the episode The Unquiet Dead, which writer performs his one-man show in front of a packed house in Cardiff on Christmas Eve 1869?
John Barrowman.
Charles Dickens.
Yes, to which floor of Satellite 5 are the occupants of floor 139 sent when they're
6.
told they've been promoted?
Floor 500.
Yes, in The Doctor Dances, which character's captured by soldiers after she breaks into the restricted area where the Chula medical transporter has crash
Perry.
landed?
Nancy.
Yes, in the episode Bad Wolf, what has Satellite 5 been renamed as in the year 200, 100?
The BBC.
The game station.
Yes, the body from the spaceship that crashed into the Thames after hitting Big Ben is taken to which hospital?
Albion.
Yes, which actor plays Captain Jack Harkness, who dances with Rose on top of a spaceship tethered to Big Ben?
David
John
Tennant.
Barrowman.
Correct. When the Doctor confronts the Daleks on their ship, he tells them that he was called by what name in the ancient legends of the Dalek homeworld?
The Oncoming Storm.
Sylvester
Correct.
McCoy.
In Father's Day, what does the Doctor use together with a battery from a mobile phone to bring the TARDIS into the
A blue
church?
Peter badge.
Sonic screwdriver.
The key to the TARDIS. When he's on Game Station, what does the Doctor say after being told you are live on channel 44,000? Please do not swear.
Fuck.
You have to be kidding.
Yes, what's the name of Rose's long-term boyfriend who's swallowed by a wheelie bin in the opening episode?
Chris Evans.
Mickey Smith.
Yes. In the first episode of the series, the Nestine Consciousness uses which London landmark to transmit the activation signal for the living
The Who
plastic?
shop.
The London Eye.
Yes, what action allows the Dalek in Henry von Statten's museum to start cellular reconstruction and break free from its chains?
Cyberman.
Rose touching it.
Yes. The Slitheen Blonde is masquerading as Margaret Blaine and holds which public office in Cardiff where she's plans to build a
Boris
nuclear
Johnson's
power
job.
station?
All of them.
Mayor.
Yes, in the episode Father's Day, what phrase does Rose hear repeatedly on her mobile phone when she's travelling with her dad in his car?
You're out
Come
of
here,
credit.
Watson, I need you.
Yes, in which state of America is Henry von Statten's museum where the Doctor and Rose land in the year 2012?
Utah.
Utah is
I didn't
correct.
hear the
No
question.
passes, Sam. 16 points.
Obviously, I think me and Sam have got comparable knowledge, but I'll let Sam have the win. I'll let Sam have the win. Nice. There we go. That was fun. That was fun. Yeah, genuinely impressive. There's a few that I would have forgotten, but to be fair, this is also 2006, so there's way less. It's the reason why I wish I would have studied history GCSE like 100 or 1,000 years ago, because there would have been way less history to learn.